Hello, hello, hello. What time is it? It's time for another reading time with Auntie Jessica, right? A bright and sunny Saturday morning. When I first got it in my mind, I said I would come and do this. I'm waiting on Mary to come for his lesson. Yeah. So I have a little downtime. And the dogs were just having their morning meditation or discussion or whatever. So I was going to be like it's a barkiddy, doggedy kind of morning. And I was smiling at myself in terms of that vocabulary and how creative we could be in terms of how we describe things, right? What do you think about when you hear me saying a barkity doggedy kind of like the dogs from all over the different places barking and talking? Yeah. So let me jump right into it. I have the men here. They're not long arrived to continue working on the house. It's a journey, step by step, step by step by step. Yeah. So first thing, remember I said that I will be sharing things that I am reading for myself as an adult. I'm not letting these little people have all the fun, right? So I think I share like probably 2 or 3 books with you so far. This one I'm reading now. I'm almost finished. I have, let me see. So like 40 more pages. Really interesting. It is an autobiography. What does that mean? A big word. It just means that I write a story about myself. A biography is if somebody writes a story about me, but if I'm the one writing it myself, yeah, autobiography. From foster care to footballer, Mark Bright, my story. There's a gentleman that he plays like Premier League football, yeah. I think he said mostly Crystal Palace. Wednesday, I never heard about that one. Those who know will know. Whichever Leicester. If I pronounce it wrong, I am sorry. But yeah, so interesting. He shared a lot about his journey coming through the system as a little child in foster care. I mean, a lot that's not like me. What I like about it, he tries to be very empathetic. Although he will share, he will take you and let you see it through his eyes as a child, right? And how, in a way, traumatic it would have been, confusing. One thing he said was the way how everything is set up in the whole system, that each time he would be moved, obviously he had to move from being with mom and dad. They separated. Neither the two could care for him and his brother for whatever reason. There were other children. Then he reached the stage where some of the siblings were staying with mom and her new partner, but yet mom kept saying she can't afford, she can't manage to have him and his brother. Each time that they would have to be moved from one foster care arrangement before the services and so on placed them with another foster care arrangement, they will always obviously go back and ask mom, has your situation improved? Are you able to manage them now? And each time mom would say no. And you can imagine how that would feel. And then he said, the services now, obviously dealing with young children and they're trying to protect them and be mindful of what they will understand and so on, but they will always bring it over away as if, all right, you're staying with Auntie Jessica now. Auntie Jessica can't care for you anymore. We're going to have to take you to go and live with someone else. They will bring it over as if this is just a temporary thing. They never would take the time to explain, Auntie really, she's getting older or whatever the situation, she's no longer able to care for you. You really are not going to be coming back here with Auntie. Wherever you go now, that's going to be the new place. So that was a bit confusing. What else? Oh, early on in the book, he has shared that when he was at school, and from very early on, he said he had aspirations of being like a top footballer, and he shared it with one of the teachers, and the teacher was like, said something else, like choose something else. The teacher won't really acknowledge that that was something that was possible, and he brought it over away as if the teacher was very well intentioned. And when he did go on to achieve what he said he would do, nobody could have been happier than this teacher. But at that point in time, the teacher can't really conceive it. So the teacher basically tried to shut him down. I'm worried about you because you need to like get real. you need to be more realistic in terms of the goals you set for yourself and so on. And you want to know something? Sometimes we, as the well-intentioned adults, caregivers, teachers, and all these different things, we project a lot of our own fears, on these children, our own limitations and so on. Is something you need to try to be mindful of. As I said, most times it is well-intentioned because we desire for the good of our children, our charges, whatever. We desire to protect them, to see them flourish. We don't want them to be disappointed. But in doing that, very often we are hindering them and we are limiting them because we are telling them, you can dream about this, but don't dream about that. How dare we? Because that's not for us to do. Right? So challenge yourself, check yourself. It happens more often than you think. When you find yourself doing that, just check yourself. I don't want to talk about the whole book. What else? Then he came to a point where, he mentioned, remember I said that mom would say she couldn't take care of him and his brother, but yet she would take care of his siblings. So every year she would send like a birthday card, write up whatever in it, and put £5 inside. So the brother's a bit older than him. He said each time without fail, the brother would take it, open it, read it, and then take the £5 note, put it back in the envelope or whatever, and toss it in the furnace each year without fail. He said he would try to save the £5 note, but his brother would insist no. And when his turn came for his birthday, the brother would want him to do the same thing. But he said, well, £5 was a lot of money, so he looked at it a bit different. But he could fully understand how the brother would have been feeling. It come like an insult. Because if you're so dejected, my mom doesn't want me and this kind of thing, and every year she's sending these things. He also came to a point where when he said all along when they were in the foster care, no communication, no effort to reach out, nothing so from that. When they reached the point, that he was successful and so on. Of course, along comes dad, sorry to say, send this letter or whatever, which he didn't really want anything to do with it. I think he shared it because a time came then when they were like in communication, not perfectly, but better with the other siblings who, it would have been two brothers together. And then everybody was in communication to a certain extent. You see, he shared it with his siblings, probably the others that were raised by mom now. And they said, no, let's, I guess for the sake of closure too, let's go and see him. So he went with one of his sisters that was raised by the mom. Remember, she didn't really have much time with the dad. She would have been with mom and mom's new partner. He said that he sat down there, you're feeling so great. He asked a couple of questions, the anger and so on, come to the surface, of course, as it should. And dad looked at him and said, who's this beautiful young lady you have next to you? Is this your girlfriend? And he and his sister look at each other like it was incredulous. And his sister said, it might be hard for you to believe this, Dad, but I'm actually your daughter. It was something like he's trying to picture this thing unfolding. Like, this thing really blew my mind. Yeah. So a very good read. Every time I go to start, I keep thinking of another part. Let me say this at last. The abuse. A very ugly part of these kind of things, but the abuse of persons that look like him, men of color. Yeah, the things that they go through, like from spectators, people from other teams, and maybe people even in their own teams. Yeah, very sad. So even at whatever point this book was written, he said things have gotten better from that time, but this thing still exists, which we know it does. We can even think like about our cricketers and what they would have endured and possibly still do. Yeah, very ugly. Of course, once you have these things that exist in society on a whole, it will manifest itself. Whether it be in sports, whether it be in politics, whether it be in different social settings, wherever. Once it's there, it will manifest. So Let me know what you are reading and do yourself a favor. Just I really be discovering the joy of reading. Yeah, just gonna sit down and really get into it. Transport myself to another place. So then when I approach reading with my children, I doing it with like or it's just like a renewed sense of joy and purpose and so on too. I'm not just doing it like encouraging them. I'm doing it because I've reminded myself what I to get from reading. All right, let me stop there. Read this children's book for you and then go and get myself together for my sweet, sweet Mary Bear. All right? Have a great one.